Hi, are you leading a team and you have a toxic team member or team members in your team? I know how frustrating and how emotionally draining it is. Welcome to Empowered by Michaela Smith, free online coaching sessions and videos for the first-time leaders. And today I invite you to watch this session and episode on how to deal with toxic team members. After this episode, I will be also releasing a session on how to deal with your toxic peers, and the third session, how to deal with toxic clients. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that little bell that is next to the word subscribe, because that will notify you when these videos come out. Toxic team members in your team. I so feel your pain. If this is what you're going through at the moment, and especially as a first-time team leader and a leader, I so understand what you're going through. Trust me, not easy, definitely not easy, but you do need to tackle it. So let me share with you these 6 steps that will help you to deal with your toxic team member. Point number 1, be honest to yourself. Right? Very often, what do? Especially when we are young and we first start as a leader. Oh, it's okay, he didn't mean it like that, she didn't mean it like that, it's gonna be better tomorrow, he's just having a bad day, she's just not feeling well, I will deal with it later. No, you have to really listen to your intuition and to all the signs that are going on in your team. You know when you have a toxic person in your team. You know when your other team members are suffering. So be true to yourself and say, yes, I do have a challenge in here. I am going to deal with it. Point number 2. And I always say, before you start dealing with other people's problems or with other people's behaviors, you always need to make sure, especially as a leader, that you first feel okay. So point number 2 would be, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? So if you're struggling and if you're trying to postpone this decision on dealing with the toxic people, eventually you do decide to deal with them, but you're still scared, stop for a while and think, what am I actually afraid of? And write it down. It can be, as I said at the beginning, the person can be maybe your top performer. So you are scared that if he or she leaves, then you will lose, that shining star that is delivering the results. Or is it that that person is extremely dramatic and you just don't want to have that drama in your office? This person is going to turn everything against you and it's just going to be extremely emotionally draining. Or maybe you just simply don't know. So admit it to yourself. There is no shame in that. Trust me, we all have been there. So you don't know, that's fine, that's okay, but you have to start somewhere. So once you do know what is your challenge and why you are scared about tackling the problem, ask for help, okay? Your HR, human resources, or your superior, your boss, if they can support you, or an external coach. Find somebody, or mentor, find somebody who can talk you through the process, who can rehearse the process with you, who will be guiding you through that process. But be aware that you really have to understand yourself first. Once you feel comfortable with yourself, understanding yourself, then you can start dealing with the toxic people. Point number 3. Okay, now you made a decision, you know what is your problem, you got a support, you are prepared to go and deal with the toxic person in your team. Point number 3, be fair, my friend. Even if it's so clear that the person is causing problems in your team and everybody else is suffering because of him or her, still you have to be fair. So when you start your conversation, your official conversation with this person, be sure that you do not start attacking straight away, or you do not start telling them how bad they are, that things are going really bad. Don't do that. Be fair to them. Give them a chance to reflect on their behavior, reflect on their performance, if the problem is with the performance, so that you give them a chance to express how they feel. You also, when you ask them first about their view on themselves and you listen, you will find out, is this person actually aware what an negative impact he or she has on the rest of the team. And I can tell you 99.9% toxic people are not aware. So if you just have a conversation and you start attacking and throwing things back on that person, he or she is just gonna go like, I don't think so. So first understand how do they see themselves, and then you can start giving your feedback. Okay, so point number 4. Once you do know how they feel and how they see themselves, now you know, okay, he has no clue, she has no clue about what's going on, or maybe there is some kind of self-reflection and self-awareness. But really, 9 out of 10 times, toxic people do not realize they are toxic. So when the time for your feedback comes after they expressed how they feel, I recommend to you, my friend, and rehearse this before the conversation. Make sure that you give them a very straightforward feedback, okay? Not aggressive, not offensive, but you do need to be straightforward. Very often what happens, especially with young leaders, because you don't want to hurt the person, you don't want to have a conflict, you will go around and around and around, and very often the person doesn't actually get your point. So there is nothing worse than if you're having this 1 hour conversation or 1.5 hour conversation, and the person walks out of that meeting not really understanding what you're trying to say, or even worse, not realizing that they are doing something bad or something wrong to the rest of the team. So be sure that you rehearse how are you going to pass the feedback, and start with something positive. I always recommend start with positive things, right? So they share how they see themselves. So then you can say, definitely, I think your performance is fantastic. You're delivering great results. Guests or clients love you. However, unfortunately, there is other side to your performance, that is your behavior, which is affecting negatively the rest of the team. And then you give them your feedback straight forward. Okay, again, not in an aggressive way, but you have to make sure that it sinks, that it goes through. You will get 2 reactions from toxic people. They will either, there will be drama, they will explode and they will go, no, how dare you, absolutely not, or they will go sulking. In my experience, I've had quite a few of these guys, they normally go sulking. So you've got this blank look, which is like, I'm gonna kill you, I really hate you right now. So you just have to carry on right now with point number 5, and that is, have your examples ready. Okay, so you shared your feedback, and not to be vague, but support what you're actually saying with the examples. Number 5, have your examples ready. Again, rehearse it, be prepared. So explain to the person, what do you mean? Give them the examples. I guarantee you the person will still turn around the things against the other people or against you, because toxic people are just the masters in turning things around. But be sure you have these examples ready so that you can demonstrate very clearly what is it that you are talking about. Number 6, the last point before you close the conversation, once you have this, and again, you're not gonna get much positive reaction, and during the first meeting, you're not gonna get into some kind of agreement. So do not be harsh on yourself, do not push on yourself, do not try or strive to, walk out of the room and be the best friends, because that is not going to happen, my friend. Let's be realistic, that's not going to happen. So how you want to close the meeting is that you agree on the next steps. Again, the person will not agree, but you still have to go through this, and you have to be very clear on your expectations and how are you going to monitor the change of their behavior or of their performance or whatever it is that you're discussing. So be sure, be very, very, very specific so that you can follow up and have the next appointment where you are going to reflect on, how the progress is going. Make sure that you document this into the person's file. It's not a warning letter at this stage, because it's just the first conversation, right? But it's a note to file so that you start documenting these conversations. Because with toxic people, they will not get it for the first time. They will probably not get it second time or even third time. So if it just keeps carrying on and it doesn't get any better, you start building your case in case you want to depart the person. Also, important thing is, during these conversations, you do need to have a witness, and that is normally human resources, I would recommend, or somebody who is senior from your company. Okay, you do not want to do these official conversations by yourself, because you do need to have the witness if you want to put things to the note as a note to the person's file. So be sure you close the conversation. Again, do not be hard on yourself if you do not reach the agreement, because you're probably not going to reach it, but at least make sure that you've opened up the problem, you've tackled the challenge, you are making the person aware of what is going on, and you are giving the person a chance to change or self-reflect, or do some kind of amendments in the behavior. So you are being fair. So these six steps, I know, once again, if you are struggling with this, just feel free to actually send me a private email, or put the message down here under the video, because this can be really emotionally very stressful and very draining, as I said. So if you need any support, I'm here to catch you. Just let me know. All right, so if you found this post useful, please just let me know by sharing and liking it. And also, please go and visit my website and subscribe to my newsletter. To all my subscribers, I am sharing private emails where I'm talking about the situations from my office with my team, how I'm dealing with my challenges, how I'm dealing with toxic people in my team, for example. So please go and subscribe so that I can share all this knowledge with you and support you on your journey. As always, first time leader, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm looking forward to talking to you in the next video. Don't forget, we will be talking about how to deal with toxic peers. And you have an amazing day. Bye.